Hi there, my name is Marin Reed. I'm applying for the 2022 summer internship. I'm a senior at Pickerington High School Central, and I'm 17 years old. So yeah, let's get started on how I accepted Christ into my life. I grew up in the church, and with my mom and my sister, we always went to church together. It was always just me and my mom and my sister. My dad never came after my parents split up. My mom continued to bring us to church and make sure that we were rooted in Christ, just because that was really hard on us. And it got worse because my dad suffered from a heart attack when I was really young and just really bad brain damage. He didn't really come back the same as he was before, so he's not like really mentally there. He's disabled. So that was really hard on our family as well. My mom continued to be like my saving grace and just remind me that it was all gonna be okay, and she still took us to church and reminded us of all the good things. And though that questioned my faith a lot, and I still get like flashbacks from that, and I'm like, it's really hard to deal with. Like, that is a really hard thing to deal with as a child, and still having to deal with as a teenager, and how my relationship with him is differed. I found Christ in that. I found Christ as my saving grace. He used my trials and tribulations to bring me closer to him, and he uses me to serve others. And I love that. I don't love that I've had those experiences, but it has made me a stronger person. It's made me be able to connect with other girls, other people that are struggling with the same thing. And I just love that God's used me in that way. After having a really rough childhood with that, I can remember going to Kalahari in 7th grade after we started going to Grace, and I gave my life to Christ that Saturday night. And I just told my group leader, I was like, I really want to live for Christ. I remember David Nasser was speaking, and he just really spoke. He was talking about a lot of family issues, which is what I was struggling with, and I was just angry at God, and I was like, I don't want to be angry at God anymore. And I told my group leader that I really wanted to live for God, and that's when I gave my life to Christ. And it got rocky after that. I suffered with some medical stuff, and it got rocky after that. I was just questioning my faith, wondering why this was happening to me, which is normal, I believe, because as a Christian, it's hard to have super strong faith all the time. But I did have my group, and I did have my group leaders who kept me on track. And again, I suffered with a lot of that stuff. And sophomore year, I just wasn't with God. I was not having a super strong relationship with Christ, honestly. And I was really mad. I was mad at myself. I was mad at God. I was wondering why I couldn't connect with him as good as I did in 7th grade whenever I was off that, just being saved. I was like, why is it so hard? And I can just remember going to my group leader and some friends, and I was like, I really need you to pray for me. I just am struggling a lot with my faith. And I can remember journaling one night my sophomore year, and I was like, I'm just giving my life to you. I really just lost Christ, and I really lost my relationship with him. And I can just remember that I just wanted to live for him again. I wanted to be on fire for God. I wanted to realize that I wanted to just remind myself of his truths every day. And after I journaled that and prayed really hard about that decision, it looked up from there. Honestly, it's hard, honestly, being a teenager. You go through a lot of things, but I mean, Christ just kept me centered. And after submitting myself to Christ twice, it's interesting that it happened to me twice, but you go through a lot of things and things will happen. So I think it's normal, honestly. I just really realized that though I have these bad past, God's gonna use me to serve other people, like I said before. And that's just the main thing that keeps me going, is that this is hard, but he's gonna use me. He's gonna use this in my story. He's gonna use this to help me serve others, and that's what keeps me centered on Christ. I think that God may be leading me into vocational ministry just because I really enjoy serving. Like I said before, I've really found a passion for serving, and seeing what Tracy does at the church and what Beth Panetta does at the church and Jen Scorziel. I really look up to those ladies, and I really appreciate their job. They work really hard, and I think that would be such a cool thing to do, doing what I do every Sunday, serving with the kids, but to be behind the scenes of it and just help make sure that everything is in check for all the Sunday services and the Thursday services. I just really want to continue to serve at Grace and work at Grace, maybe be after this internship, just because I've called this church home and it's changed my life so much that I just want to continue to change the lives of others that are at Grace. that's why I said I wanted to be a part of the student ministry and the communications, just because the business side of things is very interesting to me, but I also want to change students' lives the way that Grace has changed my life. So I think that God's calling me into that. Also because I've decided to stay home for college, and I'm just going to a local Ohio University branch, and God is not leading me to the college life. And I think that that's one of the main reasons that this internship is calling out to me, just because I prayed over my future decisions a lot, and me and my mom have talked about it, and we've just decided that the best thing for me was to stay home. So this internship is a really good opportunity for me to further my relationship with Christ and be able to serve others throughout my college years. So yeah, I really look forward to hopefully getting this internship because of that. I hope to accomplish this. What do I hope to accomplish in this internship? I just hope to find more ways to serve, honestly. I do serve in the preschool room right now. Honestly, that's not a lot. I want to be able to like work at the church and realize, when I go to church now, I realize that so much work goes into like what these church services offer. And I just want to be behind all of that. I want to build more relationships within the church. I want to I want to build relationships with people that I work with, build relationships with younger people, be able to guide them and mentor them, because I have so many people that I look up to at the church. I really just want to be able to help at the church, even if it's just an internship or a residency later on. I just want to be able to help because I love Grace so much, and I just hope that I can learn something out of this, maybe get some experience with communications and learn more about what goes on behind the scenes. I just really want to do that. I look forward to hopefully getting this, just because I don't know how to put it into words, but like I just realized that God is calling me to like stay here and like be able to work with the people that I know already. I'm not really good at like new things, and I know so much about Grace. I know so many people at Grace, and I just really adore the jobs they have and adore like what they do and how they serve God in their daily life. So I just want to be able to do the same thing. And yeah, it's kind of hard to put into words how I feel about it, but I'm just very passionate about working in the church. I feel like it makes a difference in a lot of people's lives on the daily, so I want to be able to do that and just serve God with my life. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you consider me for the internship.